This is Kevin Harlan. Tomorrow, the NBA on Prime crew is back with another action-packed doubleheader. The night starts with Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics going toe-to-toe with Pascal Siakam and the Indiana Pacers. Then, James Harden and the Los Angeles Clippers head to Portland to take on Shaedon Sharpe and the Portland Trail Blazers. It all comes your way tomorrow on Prime. And if you're not a Prime member, that's not a problem. Sign up for a 30-day free trial to get started today. The Celtics and Pacers, the Clippers and Blazers. Coverage starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details. As players fight to avoid mistakes on the field, remember to make smart choices off the field this holiday season. If you decide to drink and drive, you could get a DUI or worse. That one decision to drive impaired could change your life and the life of others forever. If you're going to drink, the only way to be the MVP this holiday season is by planning a safe and sober ride home. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hello again, hockey fans. Are you ready to brave the wild with me, your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan? Brave the Wild is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps and also on the Hockey Podcast Network, also known as THPN. I want to thank Dylan and Kyle so much for having me on board that awesome network and webpage coming out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Former home of Quinn Hughes and now home of, Zeev William, Marco Rossi, and Liam Ogren. But yes, we're gonna keep an eye on those guys probably for the rest of time. Just it's always curious. I'm sure they're gonna keep an eye on Quinn Hughes, at least some of them, and we'll see how the other Hughes brothers turn out. But Merry Christmas, and yes, Happy Holidays too. But I'm definitely a Christmas guy. But yep, I understand. Not everybody celebrates Christmas. I'm sure most people listening do one way or another. But happy Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa if you celebrate those. Very happy day again. I'm recording on Christmas Day because it's falling on a Thursday. I was afraid, oh my God, am I have to do Purple Mafia and Brave the Wild on the same day? Yeah, Vikings play today, but more than likely I'm not going to finish that episode, the Purple Mafia one. I just usually do the first segment when it's an early week kind of game because I usually like to do the NFL Roundup in segment 2. But we're not necessarily here to talk about the Vikings, though they are on TV. The Timberwolves are on TV today. What the heck? Everybody but the Wild, but I guess that's where it opens the door to do Brave the Wild. Have a fun, exciting poll, like which forward/center would be a great Christmas present for the Minnesota Wild. That'll be the theme of the fan interaction segment, and kind of a general conversation in today's show. Off and on type of conversation. Tage Thompson, Ryan Oreilly, Sidney Crosby, Alex Tuck, and I'm sure some other possibilities out there that people would like, but those have been the 4 names, I think, that are becoming more and more common, especially Ryan Oreilly lately as they beat the Wild. I don't know, kind of the Wild kind of semi-hitting a snag of late. What did we get? 5 out of a possible 8 points. Yeah. I'm not saying board things up just yet, but maybe eventually. Oh, I'm just kidding. But no, gosh, we're only 5 episodes away from 400 of Brave the Wild. It took about half our lives here. No, I'm just kidding. Well, yeah, I mean, September 2008 was episode 1. Yeah, this is one of the oldest podcasts on the planet, basically. But almost 400 episodes. Obviously, it just shows it's not like I do an episode every day like some people, which, it is what it is, Depends on your schedule, what's available, and what's expected of you, depending on what kind of network you're on. Or if you're just, you just want to record all the time, and it's the only show you do. Like, there's Purple Mafia, Timberwolves Explosion. Those are the sports ones, Mysterious Adventures. So, video game flashback. Someday that'll come out of hiatus. It's been on hiatus since last April. Just don't have time or energy for it. And I don't know. I have to change the way I do that one. Just shorten things up a lot. Nice to see Brock Fraber reach the 20-point mark already, so that's kind of cool and kind of encouraging. That's always a good thing, I suppose. But generally speaking, kind of a frustrating week, kind of. You beat Edmonton 5-2 again. You beat Columbus 5-2. That game felt like it was closer than it needed to be, than the empty net type of deal, that type of thing. That's why the score looks more lopsided than it is, because teams tend to pull their goalies pretty early. Last week, the Wild kicking butt, Boston, Washington, and such. Those were the first 2 games with Quinn Hughes, and the Wild ultimately 4-0 with Quinn Hughes before, hitting an avalanche. Literally, figuratively, and any other E you can come up with. They got their butts handed to them against the Colorado Avalanche 5-1. That was awful. Dean Evison would call it awful too. And then Nashville, who's kind of been funny. They have like a losing record, and they have all these talented players, but they're kind of older. They're underachieving. It's just kind of a weird vibe there. Yet they beat Colorado earlier this year, not even that long ago, kind of right after the Wild did. Both in overtime, though, because, I don't know, like hardly anybody can beat the Avalanche in regulation. They're kind of like the Oklahoma City Thunder of hockey right now, whether you like either one of those teams, which I don't, by the way. I don't like either one. No, not at all. But, Nashville, they win, like, games that's like, wow, they beat them. And then, then they lose, like, 3-4 in a row to whoever. They beat us, too. Third best record in hockey, and they beat the Minnesota Wild. So annoying. 4 games, basically, since the last show. 3 games coming up to wrap up 2025. Winnipeg Jets, all on the road, by the way, after a homestand. The Wild were at home and then went on the road to Columbus, came back for Edmonton, Colorado, Nashville, and now go to Winnipeg, who are below 500. Crazy. Vegas is 17-8-10. They've had 10 overtime losses. Wow. That's crazy. San Jose's 500, 17-17-3. That's a matinee game on New Year's Eve in San Jose, California, which would make it a 1 p.m. game. So absolutely matinee in Northern California there. So not in Grand Casino Arena or anything like that, which had been kind of a semi-tradition against teams like Winnipeg, Columbus, St. Louis, whoever. And oftentimes, per tradition, the Wild would lose, which was annoying. And then all of a sudden they started winning them, and it's like, all right, good. But then, I don't know. It's not been a great history for the Wild on New Year's Eve. Obviously, we're gonna look a little bit at the World Junior Championships. Of course, fan interaction will be fun, and of course, looking at the possible players that could possibly come here, and who knows what the Wild are gonna give up. I made a statement on the last episode, like the Wild don't really have a top prospect. That might not sound too good, and I apologize if that sounded kind of crappy. Would you technically call Jesper Wallstedt a prospect still? It's like he kind of is, I guess. 23, I suppose. What MNW Young Guns, when's the cutoff? About 34, 25 around there. So I guess he's kind of sort of still a prospect. Charlie Stramel, he's a decent prospect, and he's playing pretty well in college. But, obviously you don't have, this major top guy like William. Again, unless you consider Mr. Wallstedt still a prospect. He'd be a huge prospect then. But, yeah, it's just crazy. A lot of guys are either gone or they're just, okay, like a Damon Hunt. Like, he's NHL-ish. He's NHL-worthy. But it's not like he's not really a prospect, at this point. Ryan O'Rourke is long gone. Who's Nadinov is doing okay for Boston. Rossi, obviously, you don't really think of him as a prospect anymore. You just think of him as an NHL player who's a top 6 kind of guy. And the Wild could be in the hunt for a top 6 kind of guy. So it's just kind of funny. You kind of semi had one, you trade him away, so on and so forth. Lambos has been up and down a bit during the course of the season. What has he played in? 1 game? In fact, they're not even showing it on here. Yeah, 1 game so far for the Minnesota Wild. He's a +1. Nice to see him out there. 6'1", 193 from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Go figure. 22 years of age. He's still technically a prospect, and he's showing signs of improvement the last few years. Obviously, -13 and 23-24. Now I'm getting into prospect talk. But last year he was a +5. This year he's a -3. It's like they're almost even worse than last year in Iowa. I'm all over the place here to open up the show, but it's Christmas. This might be an unorthodox Brave the Wild episode. And, of course, every show is going to kind of evolve a bit, bits and pieces. I don't like just reviewing games and previewing games, even though it's... Some people like it. Some people are like, yeah, maybe it should get more topical. And, obviously, Chris Assist Podcast does a great job of that. Huge shout-out to them. Derek, Talisha, and Teresa. Great show coming over there. So, on the airwaves, so to speak. The Minnesota Wild have 6 overtime losses now, 22-10-6. Blue Jackets are a 500 team. They're just like Winnipeg. In fact, they're slightly better than Winnipeg. And yet they're a last place team over there. Jesper Wallstedt only gave up 2 goals against them there. Kaprizov, Boldy, each having 3-point games. Eriksson continuing to be strong. And even Yakov Trenin adding a couple assists. Tarasenko getting another goal. Ryan Hartman's been amid trade rumors, interestingly enough. Well, like years ago, last year, up to last year, and really into this year, and I'm kind of still on the same bandwagon. It's about time. Yeah, it's about time he's been on the trade block a bit. So they're talking about freeing up cap space. So yeah, it's about time. Then why'd you? I don't know. Why'd you have to sign him to that kind of a contract anyway? I guess. I mean, it's I guess they just had to. And then you have guys like Ben Jones still on the roster. Pitt, it's like a black hole. You're never going to get a goal out of those guys. It's just not going to happen. Even Hughes didn't get anything here, but I'm just teasing. Generally speaking, Lambos again a +1, 10 minutes in his first NHL game and hasn't been on the ice since, unfortunately. Kierstad also had 4 blocks in the game. Kierstad was on the second pairing with Spurgeon. Crazy. Then Hughes and Faber each getting over 30 minutes. I say watch it a little bit with some of those minutes. I mean, isn't that what kind of, I don't know, isn't that what we had with Mr. Ryan Suter for the longest time, and it didn't help. And then they're like, Studer was Gastolter, and then things would catch up to you later. So that was kind of annoying. Foligno, it's just amazing. He still had only 2 assists. But he's better in the playoffs. Is he, though? Or does he just make dumb penalties at times, too? But anyhow, I better digress. A nice win for the Minnesota Wild against the Blue Jackets on December 18th. An even nicer win over the Edmonton Oilers once again. Again, a team that could have had Jesper Wallstedt, and they didn't, and da-da-da-da-da. So it's kind of like a reverse Braden Point if Wallstedt continues on the trajectory that he's on. Thank you very much. That would be great if he would do that. Calvin Pickard. Not Tristan Yari of the Penguins, but Calvin Pickard. Shields up. Captain on the bridge here. 36 shots on goal. 32 saves. Yeah. One of them was an empty netter. Connor McDavid with a goal. Draisaitl with a couple of assists. One of them to McDavid, of course. Great play. Great for them, I suppose. We'll see. I mean, the Oilers are at least in the well above 500 team. They're still knocking on the door of something good. They're definitely using improvement in goaltending. Not sure Tristan Yari is going to do that. I would call him kind of a backup. Boldy, a pair of goals in this one. Great week for him. Nico Sturm even adding a goal along the way. Hartman with a goal versus Columbus and the Edmonton Oilers. So Hartman kind of raising his trade value a little bit. Tarasenko raising his value, generally speaking, and making us all feel a lot better. Coming in on the third line with Danila Yurov. That's right, Danila Yurov doing a pretty good job for the Minnesota Wild. Where are the lines? There we go. I had it up. What am I doing? Yeah, he's been with Tarasenko and Trenin. All 3 of those guys have actually been playing pretty well. Yurov isn't exactly racking up points, but he's doing all the little things, so to speak, and that's why he's staying at center. He's not one of those guys that's like, we could play him at center, but let's just put him at wing. Yeah, that would be great. When you're seeing Yurov remaining at the center position all the time, that is extremely encouraging. Because how many talented centers, so to speak, like the Rossies, the the Granlunds and such, wind up on the wing for an extended period or basically forever in Granlund's case. Granlund. So the fact that Yurov is just flat out, he's a center. Conversation over. That's freaking awesome. That's a really good sign. So, yes, it is. And the fact that the players around him are playing so well, like Tarasenko, Trenin. Now, of course, Tarasenko has been on the second line at times as well, due to guys being out like Marcus Johansson and such. But Tarasenko is turning into a nice acquisition after looking like, what are we doing here? It's just a wasted roster spot. What are we going to buy him out in February or January or something so we could just move on? No, you probably wouldn't want to do that. He's been wonderful. He's been a plus. He's been an absolute plus in every sense of the word. He's not 19 points. He was at 10 forever with 2 goals and 8 assists. Wasn't it like that? Now it's 7 goals, 12 assists. So rock on, Vladimir. Rock on. Vlad the Impaler. Haha, just kidding. 9 goals for Ryan Hartman, which is actually pretty surprising as well. He's definitely had his ups and downs, but generally speaking, Ryan Hartman has at least been, he's been on the board a bit. So that's encouraging to say the least. Ryan Hartman. again, at bare minimum, certainly raising his trade value for somebody saying, "Oh, we want playoff Ryan Hartman." Well, I mean, playoff Ryan Hartman, is he that great? I guess he's not exactly playoff Rondo, like in the NBA, Rajon Rondo, who would be a good, solid point guard all season, and here come the playoffs, and he's like this assassin, this literally this silent assassin, could rip your head off basically, with a pocket knife. Anyhow, Quinn Hughes getting an assist in this one. 'Twas a beauty. We always appreciate what Quinn Hughes brings again, and he obviously does a lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet, and of course just being there all the time, or at least not on like the plain Jane stat sheets, but more on like a real hockey stat sheet. Quinn Hughes is obviously an amazing player, and we love him. Brock Faber actually led the team in minutes with 26 this time around. He was down to about 25. Juracek getting back in the game with Middleton, who also comes back healthy. They were on the third pairing, pardon me. So very cool. Whereas Bogo is back out again. So that's why Juracek is back in the lineup. Otherwise, you have two big guys with Middleton and Bogo together. Brodin and Spurgeon, that's just a classic combo, because now again it's not Faber and Spurgeon anymore, or Faber and Brodin anymore. It is obviously Hughes and Faber, which is an elite pairing. But Brodin and Spurgeon, also a pretty damn high-end pairing. Nice to have Brodin healthy again, as we greatly appreciate it. A 5-2 win, multi-goal game for Monsieur Boldy. And then they hit the Avalanche, literally, figuratively, and
all right, everyone, let's talk about drinking and driving, a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI, because legal fees, time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
College football never stops. When college football news breaks, it breaks on On3. From the transfer portal to the playoff race to coaching changes, the sport is moving every single day. That's why college football fans turn to On3, a trusted authority with real reporters and real communities built around the teams you care about. Find all of your favorite teams and join the community. Get the full picture at on3.com. That's ON and the number 3.com.
This is Michael Rosenbaum. Hey, folks, let me tell you that drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI, because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
All of the above. Colorado Avalanche have still only lost 2 regulation games, but they do have 7 overtime losses, which technically would be like 9 losses, especially if it was the playoffs, but still 27-9, even that is pretty damn good. Oh man, McKinnon, yikes. Cale Makar also had a 3-point game, showing us who's the best defenseman in the National Hockey League. Yeah, we know. Cale Makar, go away, damn it. Doggone it. Well, imagine Hughes and Makar on the U.S. Olympic team. Sexy stuff. And no, no, it's just really sexy stuff if you like hockey, yes. 3 points for Cale Makar. And again, Quinn Hughes and Makar, the 2 best defensemen in the league. we'll be on the U.S. Olympic team. Let's beat the frickin' Canadians and get the frickin' gold, please. Wouldn't that be nice? So that's not that far away. World Juniors coming up as well. That's an annual thing. It's got an Olympic vibe to it because it's World Juniors. You know, like you play for this country, you play for that country. Yeah, you play for Sweden, I play for U.S., whatever. McKinnon multi-goal game. Yeah, they were all over the place. Brock Nelson kind of sticking it to us pretty good on a beautiful shot on a one-timer. Beautiful release on a wrister. Oh, man. Ugh. And it's like, yeah, he had a 3-point game, too. Again, yeah, you didn't want me? Well, boom. You know, look at me now, look at me now. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, we got it. Sucks. Brock Nelson, 25 points on the season, 14 goals, 11 assists. He would look pretty good in a Wild jersey. But again, I wouldn't want to sign him to a long contract for that amount of money. I'm sorry. He is, 35 almost? 34? Yeah, he'll be turning 35 next October. That's not that young. Hell of a player throughout his career. Durable as bleep. Knock on wood for his sake. Durable as bleep. But, you know, magically players tend to not be as durable when they come here, it seems like, when they've been durable the rest of their career. Or they just don't perform as well. I don't know. I just don't know what to tell you. It's extremely frustrating. But that's how it goes. Colorado obviously just put in the can of you-know-what on the Wild. The Wild did, the fifth goal was an empty netter, so on and so forth, or just along the way. Like, 4 goals were given up officially by Jesper Wallstedt. He faced 41 shots. Colorado dominated the puck and dominated the game. Jesper Wallstedt, despite giving up 4 goals, had a save percentage of 90.2, which again tells you how dominant the Avalanche were. That tells you how many shots, you know, were coming Wallstedt's way. Yep, Wallstedt's way. Ryan Hartman, 3 games in a row with a goal. Impressive. He's the only goal scorer in this one. Kaprizov, the only assist guy, I believe. Yes. Nope. Brodin added an assist again, which has been really rare in his case. Another rare thing, Danilo, you're off a -2, unfortunately. So that was frustrating. And just an overall yucky night. Or yucky afternoon or whatever, late afternoon type of game here versus the Avalanche. They just, I don't know, they just stomped all over us. Around this time we were, talking about Mr. J.J. McCarthy's hand, which did end up having a hairline fracture, apparently. Throwing hand. J.J. McCarthy, of course, Minnesota Vikings quarterback. If you've been living in a cave the last couple of years. But again, not a fun day. Not really much more to say about this. The Avalanche took it to the Wild big time, and it was kind of like a statement game for them in a way. Like, yeah, you guys think you're all that? Get out of here. And that was in Grand Casino Arena, which really sucked. Nashville Predators, well, they're 500. They're not terrible, but again, it seems like everybody's 500. Like all the quote-unquote bad teams are like 500-ish. And those arguably are the most dangerous teams in hockey. As dangerous as Colorado is. It's like, oh, we're playing the Avalanche. Let's go. Well, reality set in really harshly on a Sunday afternoon evening. But then the old crap game basically popped up on Tuesday. You know, there's talented players all over this roster, but, Ryan Oreilly's old. Steven Stamkos is old. Forsberg is up there in years. Yaros is up there in years. Yaros? What am I saying? Yeah, Saros. I'm getting 2 names mixed together here. What the heck? Saros is getting up there a bit. He's a fantastic goalie, though. Gotta love him. Wild did get 32 shots on net. Saros only let in 2. His save percentage was about 94. Awesome. Eric Haula had maybe the play of the game and ended up winning the game. Gorgeous play. So, very frustrating, to say the least. Stamkos winning it. Former Tampa Bay Lightning multi-cup champion. 3 cups for Steven Stamkos. 1 for Oreilly. What's his name? Had a cup with the Vegas Golden Knights. He was out, of course. Marcia Schultz, a tough guy who could definitely that's a playoff performer. Yossi's one of the best defenders in the NHL, defenseman in the NHL. Maybe he's the 3rd or 4th guy. Another Norris winner there, like Makar and Hughes, respectively. He was able to score a goal in this one, much to our chagrin. The play of the game on the Wild side was kind of like, real early, or pretty early anyway, where it was a beauty. Quinn Hughes kind of moving the puck around and then zinging it over to Faber for a powerful release for his goal there. Love what Brock Faber was able to finish in a great play by Quinn Hughes. That was exciting for all of us, to say the least. That was Faber's 7th goal already. That's what I thought it was, 7. That's pretty good. So nice to see Faber, like, yeah, he's probably going to get in the double-digit category again with goals, so really appreciate that. He did have 10 goals last year. Yep, only 19 assists, which is a huge drop-off from the year before. Career high in goals, where he has had 8 in his official rookie year with 47 points. Amazing season. Faber's getting closer to that 47 number in terms of his trajectory for the Minnesota Wild. So that's, of course, exciting to say the least. Yet, and then you have Quinn Hughes, so you have the combination of those guys together. Things can get awfully exciting here, and then, as the season continues to move forward. But definitely not a good couple of games to say the least. Looking at Faber's official projection is 43. Okay, so a little less, but that's fine. Hughes is on pace for like upper 50s, low 60s, if I remember correctly. It's officially 4 points in 6 games for Minnesota, and Hughes is projected to get 58. Boldy and Kaprizov at the same number, same amount of games. Knock on wood about the amount and stuff. Boldy's already got 22 goals. I mean, isn't that amazing? He's already got 22 goals. He's on pace for 47. Career high, anyone? Yeah, he's never even had 40 yet. 93 points is his projection, which would mean that Kaprizov's as well. You're hoping for 100 for Kaprizov, and man, I hope, again, you're also hoping that Boldy could even head to 100. I mean, now we're starting to get greedy, like I'm starting to get greedy a little bit when it seems like yesterday, wow, Boldy got to 60 points. 60, wow. Boldy got to 70 points. Now we're talking, well, I hope he gets to 100. Yeah, I do. I do hope he gets to 100, and it's possible. Kaprizov, basically the exact same numbers, 22-21, 22 goals, 21 assists. On pace for 47 goals and 93 points. So, gorgeous stuff. And again, knock on wood for a guy named Julius Eck to also stay healthy. We're very, 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 very happy about that. 27 points in 38 games for Mr. Julius Eck. On pace for 58. Hey, that's good. I mean, he's capable of 60, but he'll be hovering right around that anyway. So, we'll take that. Tarasenko, he's missed, 7 games on the year. Not that bad. He's on course for 41 points. Okay, well, it's better than last year with Detroit. What did he have? 11 goals and 33 points. So, but if he continues on the pace he's on, holy cow, or anywhere near it, yeah, he might get 50. So, might get 50. We'll see how that turns out at the end of the day. But an awful, frustrating, kind of just disappointing. Like, where were the goals? We made Saros look awfully good, and he made himself look awfully good. I mean, and credit to Saros, credit to the Predators for showing up, and discredit to the Wild for, not adjusting whatever they needed to do out there, for not matching Nashville's energy. Obviously, the Wild tired. Of course, again, the schedule's been tough, understandable, and of course, you're playing a Colorado team, and that was one of the reasons. Again, the Wild were flat against Colorado, to say the least. It's been a tough schedule. Other teams may be coming in a little fresher than Minnesota, but again, you're just hoping that the Wild can match some of that energy, but it just has not been the case. A little bit of rest here should hopefully help for the Minnesota Wild during this Christmas break. It is okay to call it Christmas break because December the 25th does happen to be Christmas. It's okay. It's okay to say it. It is the actual day. It's not being non-PC, I think, in my opinion. It's okay. Hanukkah also does start on the 25th, so you can say that as well. Sorry. But the Wild, again, hopefully again with this Christmas and Hanukkah break here can get things rolling. Yes, Zibuim, I do believe, would celebrate Hanukkah, so God bless Zibuim in full sincerity. I am saying that in full sincerity. And other Jewish players that will be skating in the NHL in the next few days here. So on the 26th, I do believe as well, things open up pretty quickly once again. Winnipeg, Vegas, San Jose coming up. So that's kind of where we're heading. Mike McDonough Award for this previous episode will be... I'm debating between Boldy and Hartman. Man, I am debating between Boldy and Hartman. Should I give it to Hartman? I'm feeling it's Christmas, it's the or you could say the holidays, whatever. I will give it to Ryan Hartman. I'm feeling kind and generous. Ryan Hartman, Mike McDonough Award winner. Yeah, that's for real. Mike Modano, Mike Modano award winner for Ryan Hartman. James Shepard Memorial. Just disappointing, generally speaking. The Wild missing on opportunities versus Nashville. It is what it is, getting throttled by Colorado. I mean, Hinostroza, nice to see him kind of healthy back again. I don't know if he had a broken ankle or what his story was. Couldn't have been good, the way he was laying down when he got hurt. But nice to see him healthy again. Bogosian came back as well. We appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, is it Foligno? Like, he's become a legitimate fourth liner that just can't score at all anymore. Does some of the little stuff. I mean, just Foligno for lack of productivity. We could use some help a little bit. Obviously, he's hitting and everything. He's playing his role and all that. But a little better productivity would be nice. Also great to have Zuccarello back as well. That wasn't as long as some people feared. But generally speaking, frustrating. You get some players back and you're still sucking. So, disappointing. I mean, yes, I'd rather see Hinostroza out there versus the Benjosas and Pidlicks, with all due respect to them. But, yeah, we'll just kind of go that direction. Foligno for lack of productivity of late. With that, we'll take a quick break and look at the upcoming games, the prospects. Hear from DraftKings, of course, first, and hear what you have to say about the possible forwards coming to Minnesota. And we are back here on Brave the Wild segment number 2. Time to look around the upcoming games, the prospects. A lot of love looking at the prospects, even if I was depressing as all get out. Oh boy. But first and foremost, we are going to hear from DraftKings right here and now. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.com/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. So pretty soon it'll be copyright 2026. Right around the corner here. And I do believe the next episode of Brave the Wild will be New Year's Day, 2026. What the heck? My God, time flies. Wow, time is flying and flying off the shelves. Winnipeg Jets, December the 27th, 6 p.m. Saturday. And I don't have to work it. Yeah, I don't have to work. Hallelujah. Amen. Ugh. God, I was getting tired of that just a little bit. This is the third of the season matchup. The Wild have split with the Winnipeg Jets so far, losing 4-3 back in that awful October, and a kick-butt November, 3-0 over the Winnipeg Jets. Kick-butt November. This one is in Winnipeg, Manitoba, not Ontario. It's Manitoba, Saturday at 6 p.m. And then the season finale will be January 15th, not too far from now. Slightly, like a fractionally better sunlight at that point. It is growing already because the solstice has passed. Yeah, sunlight is growing by about seconds, a day or so, maybe a minute. Anyhow, it's slow, yes. That one will be in Grand Casino Arena. I'm getting it correct now. The Wild win streak has turned into a losing streak. Unfortunately, though, the Wild did get a point versus Nashville. Winnipeg has lost 4 in a row, and they are below 500. The Winnipeg Jets have lost 4 in a row. That's pretty wild. Pun, not intended. Ottawa Senators 3-2 loss. St. Louis 1-0. Colorado 3-2, and Utah Mammoth 4-3. 4-3 loss. All losses in those games. The Wild absolutely need to win this one. Take care of business, guys, please. In goals, the Wild are 15th. Winnipeg 23rd. Power play, the Wild are 9th. Winnipeg 10th. Kind of close matchup here, generally speaking. Goals against, the Wild are 4th. Hell yes. Goals against in Winnipeg with their elite goaltender, Hellebuck, 13th. Penalty kill, the Wild are down to 26. That's not helping. Not helping. It's getting worse. Games like Colorado and Nashville are not helping. Winnipeg is 15th, right in the middle there. Penalty minutes, the Wild have the second least penalty minutes in the league, whereas the Winnipeg Jets have the 9th most penalty minutes in the league. Penalty minutes, right? Is that how we talk? Penalty shot? Oh no, I bleeped up. Sure did. Don't you just... Oh man, that sucks. You dummy. Yep, I bleeped this up. I had it all ready to go, and what did I do? Bleeped it up. Great. Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets, 15, 17, and 3. What the hell? Hellebuck, 2.48 goals against average. Again, remember how good they were just a year ago? That's the Winnipeg Jets for you. They're kind of like the Vikings. Wow, playoffs. Oh, they look really tough. And they lost. And then the next year, they missed the playoffs. And then a couple of years, oh, God, oh, they're tough. Look at them. And they lost right away in the playoffs. And the next year, they missed the playoff. It's like a broken record. It's like, what's wrong with you guys? Get your heads out of somewhere, please. 0 shutouts for Hellebuck, but his save percentage is 91.2, which is pretty good. Scheifele, if I'm saying it correctly, has 43 points. Kyle O'Connor has 43 points. They're doing a little copycat there of Minnesota with Kaprizov and Boldy. Not elite numbers, but way up there, especially in Boldy's case, of the on pace for 90. Not elite for Kaprizov standards, but Kyle O'Connor, and Scheifele, yeah, they're having great seasons there. I'm sure they're not enjoying this year that much, though, because they're not winning. Jonathan Toews, remember him? He is from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and doing right about what we expected. Kind of like Matt Cullen at age 41 when he came to the Wild. 9 points in the 35 games. And a minus 14. Remember that? Remember when Matt Cullen came back for his second tenure? And it's like, man, he looks old. He plays old. He is old. Yeah, he's old. Yep. And it is what it is. It was no disrespect. It's just stating a fact. He's old. Old. Anyhow, and when you're out of the league for 3 years, you're even older. Remember Michael Jordan, best player of all time, went out on top. He came back. I mean, he was still pretty good, but was he the same player? No, he wasn't. He was a good player, but not the same. Gabriel Velarde with 16 goals, 15 assists, 31 points. Josh Morrissey, all these guys staying healthy. Good for you, Winnipeg. All respect for that. That's their top 8 scorers have played in every game. Jonathan Toews has played in every game. Respect there. Their top, it looks like 11 out of 12 players have played in every game. So, yet they're not winning at all. It's really weird. Like they're winning, but they're winning some games. Injury report? Anyone? Let's get to that injury report here. Where is it? No injuries for Winnipeg. Well, you know what? They have that going for them, and I'm knocking on wood because I don't want to jinx them, even though I'm not a fan. Damon Hunt, injured reserve as of December 18th, and that sucks. Damn it, I want Damon Hunt out there. But otherwise, finally, yeah. I am knocking on wood. I don't need to say any more. Yeah, the Wild need to beat the Winnipeg Jets, bottom line. I could babble on for 15 more minutes, and that would annoy you, and you'd probably unfollow the show. But, the Winnipeg Jets, okay, yeah, well, the Wild need to beat them. 4-3 victory for Minnesota, maybe an empty netter to wrap things up. No shootout needed, I hope. Don't play with your food, guys. I don't want to see some 2-2 game going to OT. I can't deal with it. Win. Just win the game, okay? 4-3. Empty net. Empty net to wrap it up. Boy, Bob Welch was a hell of a pitcher back in the day, wasn't he? Yes, 89 ALCS is on, flashing in the background, because I like to have something on in the background, and I don't want to watch repeat stuff from like 3 days ago. I'll watch something from 36 years ago instead, because it's cool. 4-3 win, most likely got to score. Boldy, keep it up, Matt. Keep it up, Matt. Why the heck not? Who's the next opponent? Because I bleeped things up here. Threw it all off. Winnipeg. How about the Vegas Golden Knights? The Winnipeg Jets? I'm losing it. Can you tell? I'm recording on Christmas Day. What'd you expect? You think I'm going to be like on my A game? Come on. Would you want to record? Yeah, you should. It's fun. Akira Schmid. Yeah, he's been the lead goaltender of late in Vegas. 2.48 goals against average, 89.6. What the hell? So again, not facing many shots. He's not as good as the goals against average is showing, but he did have 2 shutouts on the year. No one else in the Las Vegas does. It doesn't help that Aiden Hill has been out only 5 games this year. Only 1 decision as well. 2.73 goals for him. Carter Hart, also a part of the Vegas Golden Knights. Kind of a cool addition for them, I'm sure. 4-1 on the season, as has been Akira Schmid with an 11-3 record with 2 shutouts. Jack Eichel continuing to lead the club in scoring. Mitch Marner, the former Toronto Maple Leaf, 38 points in 35 games. Eichel 41-31. Stone has missed a lot of games, but man, when he's healthy, he is amazing. He's having an amazing season. He would be on pace for like 103 points or something like that if he was healthy. He's been amazing. Just stay healthy, Mark. Vegas could be, way up there. Obviously a stacked roster like they always are. They sign players. They trade for players. They sign players and trade for players. Well, yeah, they draft players, but after that, I don't know what else they do with them. Trade players. Brendan Saad, what the heck? Remember him with the Blackhawks? 32 games, 5 points. 32 games, 5 points. Braden McNabb, remember him? 35 games, 2 points. 2. But, again, at the top, that's where all the points are pretty much happening for the Vegas Golden Knights. 17, 8, and 10. 10 overtime losses, but basically in their usual spot in the Pacific Division, first. That's right. Those are their overall numbers. As for the matchup, this is a 9 p.m. game, which is a lot of fun in my opinion, especially when it's a day off and it's wonderful on the 29th, Monday coming up here. Going to look forward to this one. This will be in T-Mobile Arena, which is Las Vegas, Nevada. Shea Theodore injured reserve. Tuesday, 23rd. Jack Eichel did not play on the 23rd versus the Sharks. We'll see if he plays against Minnesota. Probably will. He's been out for a little bit, though. But he's not on any IR or anything. William Karlsson, been there for a long time now. He's been transferred to the long-term injured reserve. He's been out since November 10th, and he was officially moved on December the 5th. Are there any other guys on the list? Usually there are, unfortunately. Jacob Demek, injured reserve undisclosed. Thank you for that information. Alex Pietrangelo, injured reserve hip. Those are both as of Christmas Eve. And Aiden Hill, injured reserve. The Vegas Golden Knights said on Tuesday, December the 23rd, that Hill is considered week to week, according to head coach Bruce Cassidy. He's been out since October 22nd. That's why he's only played in 5 games all season. So, okay, well, a beatable team, but I don't know. The Wild did beat them in overtime on November 16th when things were going well. 3-game series because it's a Pacific Division team and still in the West. This one is in Las Vegas. The final game of the matchup is in Las Vegas, March the 6th, 9 p.m. because it is Pacific time, believe it or not. I always thought it was Mountain, but no, it's Pacific time in Las Vegas. So it's officially the farthest west I've ever been, and I would love to go back because I love Las Vegas without the gambling. I just like the climate, and well, I like the Golden Knights too. Don't hate me too much, please. The Wild had beaten Columbus on the 13th of December and had lost 3 in a row to New Jersey. Calgary, yeah, I remember that one. And Edmonton. San Jose then got their butts kicked by the Vegas Golden Knights 7-2 on Tuesday the 23rd when teams were all signing off for a few days for their Christmas break and holiday break and this break and that break. Vegas is 18th in goals, 6th on the power play. 6th, yep. Might help with Stone being out there. Goals against 8th, penalty kill 12th. They are the best in the league. The only team better than the Wild at staying out of the box, again, which is an amazing improvement because the Wild used to be one of the worst teams in the league. at being in the box versus staying out of the box. Right now, we're number 2 in the league at staying out of the box, which is one of the reasons the Wild have the best record in the league, practically. A third best record.
All right, everyone, let's talk about drinking and driving, a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI because legal fees, time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
College football never stops. When college football news breaks, it breaks on On3. From the transfer portal to the playoff race to coaching changes, the sport is moving every single day. That's why college football fans turn to On3, a trusted authority with real reporters and real communities built around the teams you care about. Find all of your favorite teams and join the community. Get the full picture at on3.com. That's ON and the number 3.com.
This is Michael Rosenbaum. Hey, folks, let me tell you that drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that will change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
In the league, I'm talking like a maniac here, and I apologize. Winnable game, yes. Will the Wild win, though? I'd like to be optimistic and say yes. I mean, the Wild could sweep this group. Somehow, I guess. Yeah, the Wild are going to beat Vegas. I'm getting something else in my head here. You can probably guess what it is. It has all the makings of a... Yeah. It's like the perfect storm for a Wild loss coming up here. You can probably guess what I'm looking at, can't you? It's coming here. But the Wild will beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Final score along the likes of like the usual 4-2. It just feels like that's a common score. Maybe 5-3. This one might be a higher scoring, a messy game. Kaprizov with a multi-goal game versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Kaprizov with a multi-goal game versus the Golden Knights. The trap game of trap games. It's got all the ingredients of a frustrating game. Frustration. A matinee game. Historically frustrating for Minnesota. San Jose Sharks. Historically frustrating for Minnesota, at least the last 2 years. For a while, like way back in the day, the Wild lost to the Sharks every single time we played them. It seemed like we would just get stomped. They were kind of like the Colorado Avalanche back in the day, remember? You know, with Young, Burns, Joe Thornton, all those guys, Pavelski, all those guys. They would just stomp us into the ground, remember? Back in the old days. They just crush us. Whether we were decent or not. Sharks were just a nightmare. And then, like, for a while, about a 4 or 5 year period, the Wild dominated the Sharks. As they started to get a little older, the Wild dominated the Sharks from about, 2018-ish till like 3 years ago or so. But since then, holy crap, especially since Scalabrini got there, it's just been like frustrating loss after frustrating loss. Or the Wild would escape with like a 7-6 win. It's like, wow, 7-6. That's really beautiful hockey against a team that was like 10 games below 500. So yeah, ingredient number 1, matinee. Ingredient number 2, the Sharks. Ingredient number 3, the Shark Tank. Ingredient number 4, which was again a bad place for the Wild historically. Ingredient number 4, December the 31st. The Wild are not going to beat the Sharks. I hope I'm wronger than wrong, but everything tells me this is a loss. Ingredient number 5, trap game, 500 team. the Wild are the third best team in the league, and then the Sharks are only 500. We're going to win this one. Trap game. So that's at least 6 ingredients, I do believe. Sharks did beat the Wild 6-5 in overtime, and this might go to OT. Maybe the Wild will escape with a point. But 6-5, like demolition derby on October 26th. Like, God, beat these guys. What's wrong with 6-5? What are you doing? Jeez, I know they're talented and getting better and stuff, but 6-5? Ugh. And then, we put the clamps down on Veterans Day. Beautiful night, greatest Aurora display of all time. I remember having it on while I was very distracted with the Auroras that night. The best Auroras in the history of my lifetime. Anybody that may have seen a better one, it was probably in a different part of the world or whatever, or up north or something. I mean, it was the greatest northern light. Every time I think about November 11th, 2025, I think of the Auroras. I mean, that'll be a day I'll remember the rest of my life. Absolute dazzling display. 2-1 loss to the Sharks in overtime. It's like, why can't we beat the Sharks? Stupid. Why can't we beat the damn Sharks? We can't. Wild won't win this one. It'll be like 4-3 or something. Maybe we'll squeeze out a point. But it's going to be close as heck. We'll say 4-3. It'll be somewhere in the middle. Wild have lost 2 in a row officially, though we did squeak out a point versus Nashville. I've said that 15 times. All regulation losses in a row. 3 losses in a row for the Sharks after pounding Calgary 6-3, and then a barn burner versus Pittsburgh 6-5 in a rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals back in 2016. Vegas, again, like we talked about, crushed the Sharks. This is the rubber batch. Hopefully the Wild can, the Wild have 2 points in 2 games versus the Sharks. The Sharks have 4. Wild win this one, everything will be all evened up if we win this in regulation anyway. But let's get to the other stuff. Goals, Sharks are 19th. Power play, Sharks are 20th. Shooting percentage, I'll bring it up just because it's real high. It's 6th for the Sharks. Nice. Goals against 31st. They give up a lot of goals, apparently, except that 2-1, game where they beat the Wild. Penalty kill, they're 21st. Penalty minutes, 21st. So they're good at staying out of the box for the most part. Injuries for Les Sharky Darkies are a lot. Holy Toledo. This is 7 names. Carey Price? What the hell? Must be a contract thing. Carey Price? That's got to be like just throwing his contract around. He hasn't played in years. Logan Coulthard, injured reserve groin, December 24th. Michael Mesa, out, not injury related. Christmas Eve. Timothy Lilerin, I think I'm saying that correctly, did not play versus the Golden Knights on the 23rd. Philip Koresev, they don't get any easier, injured reserve, placed on the 15th of December, I considered week to week. Will Smith, we're not going to even go there. He's not going to slap anyone, don't worry. Injured reserve, the Sharks said of December 22nd, week to week, per Max Miller of NHL.com. He's officially been out since the 13th of December. Vincent Descharnais, injured reserve, officially on December 9th, but retroactive as of December the 1st. Descharnais will be sidelined through the Christmas break per Sheng Peng of the San Jose Hockey Now. Nice. Rolls right off your tongue. All of that does, by the way. What doesn't roll off your tongue too well is the Wild will not beat the Sharks. Unfortunately, it'll be a 4-3 loss, but maybe we'll squeak out a point. But again, the frustration will continue versus the Sharks. We can look at their numbers really, really, really quick here as I continue to flap my gums and screw around. They give up a lot of goals. Askarov, who I think is going to be a great goalie eventually, but not so far this year. 3.37 goals against average for him. He's been the main guy. He's 12-10 on the year, no shutouts. Save percentage of 89.7, which isn't that bad. I mean, the defense isn't too great in front of you. If his save percentage is just about 90, despite a goals against average of 3.37. 3 1/3 goals against, basically. Alex, and again, another difficult names to pronounce. Nedeljkovic. I think I got it. 5-7 on the season. Save percentage of 306. Save percentage of 89.5. Kind of a similar theme there. Fairly high save percentages despite the high goals against average. Will Smith is going to be, obviously out for a bit. He's 29 points. That's number 2 on the team. Macklin Celebrini, who's one of the best players in the league already. Wow, 37 games, 19 goals, 36 assists, 55 points. He's a plus 12 on a 500 team. Klingberg, former Minnesota Wild defender who gave up about 99 goals. Talented player, but not a good defender. Just an offensive guy. 15 points in 28 games for him. He's only a -1, which is actually pretty good. William Eklund, son of a former Dallas Star, I do believe, a North Star. 8 goals, Peely Eklund, if I remember correctly. 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points, but a -18 in the season. Wenberg, 37 games, 23 points, -13. Tyler Toffoli, 37 games, 25 points, -2. Yes, sir. Nick Leddy, former Minnesota Wild draft pick, and then we've gone into that 100 times. 15 games, 3 assists. That is all, folks, and he's a -8. I thought, I don't know. Oh, and Jeff Skinner, man, he's been all over the place as well. 7 points, 24 games, -11. Mario Ferraro, 7 points, 37 games, -3. Yep, there's all these familiar names. Orlov, yep, formerly of the Washington Capitals. So, yes, 4-3 loss for Minnesota. Most likely got a score in this one. Quinn Hughes will score against the San Jose Sharks. Quinn Hughes. Good for him. He could use that, right? Maybe the Wild do escape this one, but I don't know. It's got all the makings of a frustrating loss. Whew. Okay, so World Juniors or prospects? Let's look at the juniors just for a second. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because my knowledge level about the World Juniors is not as high as other people. That's a disclaimer. That's just an unfortunate fact. Let's look at the U.S. national team, U.S. national junior team. Asher Barnett, Michigan. He's from Illinois. Camille Bednarik, Illinois. Boston University. Cool. He's with and then the teams are with the Islanders and all that. I'm going to dig down. Yep, and there's future draft picks, guys like that. No official Minnesota Wild prospect is on the U.S. I don't need to necessarily read every name, but some of them are pretty exciting. Emery, yep, E.J. Emery, guys like that. Exciting. I mean, exciting going forward, to say the least. Goaltender, yep. Nick Kempf, University of Notre Dame. He's a Washington Capital prospect. Good for him. Caleb Heil, Tampa Bay Lightning prospect. Ooh, and he's from Victoria, Minnesota. So, yep, Victoria, Minnesota for him. Goaltender prospect for Tampa. He's in the USHL right now. The Madison Capitals. It's spelled all different. Woodbury, Minnesota native. Logan Heinzler. He's with the Ottawa organization. He's playing for the University of Wisconsin. Yeah, he's playing for the Badgers. I know. Yeah, he's a right shot defenseman. Traitor. Okay, just kidding. Adam Kleiber. Wow, 6'5" right shot defenseman. University of Minnesota. Come on, man. Yeah, University of Minnesota Duluth. He's with the Buffalo organization. That'd be the Sabres, of course. All these guys are born in 2006 or 7. Practically, here's one that was just about, I'd already started podcasting. Brady Noling. I'd already started podcasting paladinolive. Wow, I feel old. He is also a goaltender. Brady Noling. He's on the U.S. National Under-18 team. Very young guy. And he is a prospect going into the 2026 draft. Wow. Chaska, Minnesota. That's Kleiber playing for Duluth. All these guys leaving. Plymouth, Michigan. Yeah, that's Luke Osborne playing for the Badgers. Gophers. L.J. Mooney. Right shot, right winger, whatever. Montreal Canadiens organization, but playing for the Gophers. Max Plant. Hermantown. Ooh, Detroit organization, unfortunately. Not the Wild, of course. But Hermantown. Ooh, yep, they've had a lot of success over the many years. Chase Reed, defenseman, right shot. He's playing for the Sioux Greyhounds at the moment. He is not in the NHL yet, or not an NHL prospect officially. He's a prospect. He's not out of the organization yet. Chesterfield, Minnesota. He's in the Sioux Greyhounds of the OHL. So, rooting for a lot of these Minnesotans. Lakeville, Minnesota, which is where Neil Nate Dogg Thiesing, God rest his soul. Lakeville, Minnesota, he plays for frickin' Denver. Yuck, he's with the Kings organization. That'd be Brendan Morrow. Brendan Morrow. That name sounds awfully familiar. No, Brendan McMorrow. Brendan Morrow and Brendan McMorrow. What a terrible mistake. I apologize for that. Go ahead and laugh at me. It's okay. It happens. I do deeply apologize for that. Yeah. Yeah, I do apologize for that. Let me tell you. That's embarrassing a little bit. Maple Grove, Minnesota. Will Zellers. University of North Dakota. Yeah, okay. He's with the Boston Bruins organization. University of Minnesota. Brody Zimmer. He's with Buffalo. So a lot of Minnesota and Buffalo. Holy cow. Like, so many Buffalo Sabres, like Middlestad and such. Obviously, he's no longer with them. Thomas Vanek, obviously, was with the Buffalo Sabres. So, yeah, we could go on forever. Obviously, Alex Tuck, one way or another, they either are from Minnesota, from the Wild, from the Gophers, or all the above. And they're involved with the Buffalo Sabres. It seems like there's so many players like that out there. But we'll move on from that. Wishing the U.S. national team the best of luck here. The one place where he's had, ultimate success would be a guy named Bob Motzko. I've been very, very critical of him with the Gophers. Now he has brought the Minnesota Gophers back to, back to respectability. Players want to go to the Gophers again and da-da-da-da-da, though not everybody, that's for sure. A lot of these big prospects are all these other schools. But that's life. I mean, it happens. Not every, exciting Minnesota prospect is going to go to the Gophers. Sometimes there's just not enough room either as well. Not because the Gophers are so special, but because they figure they could shine better somewhere else. Or they just rather play for Denver or Wisconsin. Wisconsin, yeah. They'd rather play for Wisconsin. Yeah, thanks. Anyhow, Bob Motzko has won a gold, though, in this tournament, so God bless him. He has won a national championship as an assistant, unfortunately, with Don Lucia. Hopefully he can win a national championship as a head coach one of these days. I doubt this year, because this feels like one of those down years for a college hockey team. It's okay. I'm not ripping Bob Motzko for this season, but he's had great regular seasons. His tournaments have been frustrating beyond belief, especially that championship game with Quinnipiac. I'm having a hard time forgiving that one. Coming down to Austin, Minnesota. Bob Motzko, wishing you the best, though. I don't hate you. I don't. Just not been a huge fan in these tournaments. And I know Derek is like, I'm well aware of that. Yep, hopefully. And everybody has a right to their opinion. If you think I'm warped or whatever, that's okay. I understand. Maybe I am. I hope Bob Motzko wins 5 national championships for the Gophers. I hope he does. Do you think I'm rooting against him? I'm not. As long as he's the head coach of the Gophers, I hope they win the national title, no matter who the head coach is, unless it's the devil himself. Then I'd root against the Gophers. But that's about the only scenario where I would. Yeah. The general manager is John Van Beesbroek, one of the great goaltenders in the past. Didn't realize how far back he goes, though. I mean, he goes way back with the New York Rangers in the early 80s. I didn't realize how yeah, he's an older guy. He's pretty old, yeah. I remember him well with the Florida Panthers. But, man, the Rangers in the early 80s back, they went to the Cup Finals one of those years against the Islanders, which I'm sure felt really good for Islanders fans. Because, yeah, they went from a team that hadn't won anything to, 4 cups in a row. It's like, yeah, that was exciting, I'm sure. They were kind of treated like the little brother, and then it's like, we're not the little brother anymore. Anyhow, yeah, good luck to the U.S. national junior team. Hope they can win another one. Go get them, baby. That's what we're hoping for. This will last from December 26th up until Jan 5, which is a day that is not real exciting for a lot of people at my job. It's not an exciting day. You can imagine why. I don't want to go back. I don't. I just got out of there 2 days ago. I'm not going back. Leave me alone. You're gonna have to tie me down. No, I don't want to go back. Please. But there's that. Let's look at the prospects a bit. Pardon me if I'm babbling too much, but that's radio for you, I guess. What do we do now? Let's look at the Iowa Wild. Yeah, let's look at the Iowa Wild. I know I'm scared to look at him. Jerry Mayhew's leading the club in scoring with 16 points in 25 games. He's 32 years of age. Nicholas Obe Kubel from Slave Lake, Alberta, 29 years of age. He's the second leading scorer, but along with David Spacek, who was called up with the Wild for about 5 seconds, Minnesota Wild. That is 13 points. He finally scored a goal. Good for him. 1 goal and 12 assists. By far the lead scoring defenseman, at least of the actual prospects. Ben Gleason's right behind him as a minor leaguer, 27 years of age, 1 goal, 11 assists. Hunter Hate's been moving up a little bit in the scoring. A little bit. He had a multi-goal game recently. Second on the team in goals of 7. Yeah. He's only been in 19 games because he's been on the Minnesota popcorn maker list. Not that I think he's a bad player. He's just been stuck in making popcorn. You know how that works. Like, not literally, but figuratively. The press box thing. Yeah, he's in Minnesota. Yeah, making popcorn. Damn it. 21 years of age. It's almost kind of like, just let him develop in Iowa. Ugh, but I don't know. It's so damn toxic down there. And it shouldn't be. That's what I don't understand. What's wrong with Iowa? Dang it. He's a minus 14. Yeah. Riley Heights, a minus 13. 3 goals, 6 assists, and 28 frickin' games, 9 points. Jean-Luc Foudy, minus 7. He's only 23, so God bless him. Jack Pert had a little bit of a scoring surge, but he's also minus 13 on the season, which is un-Jack Pert-like. From Grand Rapids, Minnesota, not Michigan. 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 27 games. Kenny Bankier is only a minus 2. I like that. The lack of scoring is frustrating, though. 24 games, 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists. 22 years of age. He is a prospect. And a minus 2, that's pretty good considering the circumstances. Lambos also just a minus 3, 5 total points in 27 games for the Winnipeg, Manitoba native. Juracek has been in 10 games. He's up with the Minnesota Wild now. 3 points in Iowa in 10 games and a minus 6. Seen worse, definitely seen better. Yeah, it's been funky dunky to say the least. Riley Mercer, 1 game so far for Iowa and a win and a shutout. 1 game and a shutout for Riley Mercer. Cool. The Iowa Wild did win 1-0 in that one. He'd been on the Heartlanders and been okay, but gets a shutout for the Iowa Wild with a 1-0 Jack Morris-like performance. God bless him. God bless him. God bless him. Born in 2004, so still got many years to go in his world. He's only 21 years of age, so maybe something. We'll see. Wishing you the best, Riley Mercer, and I say that with sincerity. Cal Peterson's got a couple of shutouts. The former Los Angeles King. 15 games, 2.94 goals against average.
Drinking and driving is a decision that will change your whole world. Things will never be the same once you get a DUI, because legal fees and time in court are just the beginning. Getting into a crash is another way your world could be irreversibly changed after drinking and driving. Your vehicle may not be the only thing that gets damaged in that crash. You could face a life-altering injury or even death. But you're not the only one who could face those consequences. Your decision to drink and drive could permanently change someone else's world, whether you injure them or leave their loved ones grieving. The next time you're out drinking, call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or a designated sober driver. Always plan for a safe ride home. The only decision that'll change your world for the better is the decision to call for a sober ride. It's never worth it to drive drunk. Don't risk it. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
College football never stops. When college football news breaks, it breaks on On3. From the transfer portal to the playoff race to coaching changes, the sport is moving every single day. That's why college football fans turn to On3, a trusted authority with real reporters and real communities built around the teams you care about. Find all of your favorite teams and join the community. Get the full picture at on3.com. That's ON and the number 3.com.
Hey, this is Steve Gorman, radio host, sports commentator, former drummer for the Black Crowes. The winter holidays are here, a time for festive celebrations, family gatherings, and ringing in the new year. Whether it's a holiday party, a night out with friends, or just relaxing by the fire with a few drinks, it's a season full of good cheer. But here's something else to add to your holiday plans, a safe and sober ride home. Just like in sports and music, always have a game plan. And the most important part of any plan is sticking to it. If you plan plan to drink, take that plan a step further. Call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or have a designated driver lined up before the night begins. Drinking and driving is a decision that can change your life and the lives of others forever. A DUI, a crash, an injury. The consequences are real and lasting. So please, for your sake and for everyone else on the road, make the smart choice. Get a sober ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
89.3 save percentage. Samuel, I can never get it right. Hilava with 3.52 goals against average save percentage of about 87. 87. Should I say it again? No, you'll be like, shut up, Joey. It's too much. It's sad, but yep. God bless the Iowa Wild. You know, I mean, Rasmus Kumpelainen, bless his heart. He's only 21 years of age, from Lahti, Finland. 6'4", 26 games, -8, 2 assists. Yep, he is 20 years of age. Again, like we'll say, bless his heart. The other guy that's his age is Oreilly Height, 2 youngest guys on the roster at 20 years of age. I made my point. Rest of the prospects, let's dig around a little bit. I mean, hopefully that 1-0 shutout with Mercer can help things head in a slightly better direction. I mean, really hope so, saying that with full sincerity. Petrovsky, do we even go into this one? Well, everything's frozen now. I don't know what just happened here. Okay, that was weird. 4 goals. He's playing in Czech now. He's been overseas, so I'm not sure what to make of that. We'll probably move on. Spot check. We already looked at him. Ryan Healy with Harvard. 7 points in 11 games. He's a +4. +4, again, great improvement from his sophomore year in Harvard. But, yes, nice to see Healy heading in a slightly better direction for the Massachusetts native. Regular Lorenz, Calgary, Alberta native, Denver Pioneer, 19 games, 15 points, huge jump forward. He's a +12 also. Great. 6 goals, 9 assists. Nice to see Lorenz moving forward a bit. Jimmy Clark, Minnesota Gophers. 12 games, 19 points, a +4 from Edina, of course. Caleb Parker, Michigan Tech, stuck at 6 points. But yeah, these are college teams, so they haven't played in weeks now because of the Christmas break. We'll keep going. Aaron Pionk still stuck at 1 point in 20 games for Duluth, after being a scoring machine the previous 2 years. Not sure what happened there. I'm miffed by that one a bit. Soliani, wow. Now he's at 3 points. He's been pretty much a 1 point a year guy. 3 points. Playing for the professional team in Liga there, Finland. 3 assists, and this is the pro team, so good for him. 16 penalty minutes, which is a career high. 23 games, which is a career high as well. At the pro level, -3. Not too bad for the right shot defenseman who is awfully young. 19 years of age. We'll see what happens there. Kivi Haru, who's also a Finnish player. He's Finland, but he was born in Denmark. He's from Finland. 23 games, 7 points, -8. Kivi Haru, who was looked at as an intriguing prospect, but certainly far from a guarantee. He's a long shot at best, to say the least. Raidar Ritchie, who definitely is a playoff performer at times. Boston University, Calgary, Alberta native, 19 years of age, 11 points, -4 in 18 games for Boston University. If we could move faster, that'd be great. Justin Kipke, one of my favorites here in this past draft, Arizona State Sun Devils, high-scoring defenseman for Victoria, only 6 points in 16 games and a -6 for Arizona State, so definitely a jump up, and it's not been too spectacular for him so far. Carter Klippenstein, who recently won the Prospect of the Week for MNW Prospects / MNW Young Guns of the Brandon Wheat Kings in the WHL, already almost matching last year's point total for the left winger. 30 games, 26 points. Good job. So 10 goals already. He had 14 all last season in 58 games. He's only about halfway through the year, and just about already reached last year's season totals. Right winger Larim Amadovsky, 19 points in 31 games. He's a +4 on the season, which is way better than last year. He was in the minuses. And I'm hitting all the wrong buttons you could ever imagine, and everything's bouncing all over the place. Adam Bennick, 43 points, 26 games, still stuck at that. So we'll move on. Theodore Hulkvist, 2 points at the minor league pro level, and that's in 18 games. The junior level, 5 points in 11 games, and in 6 games at the pro level, 1 single assist. So Hulkvist, again, a work in progress at 18 years of age, very young guy. He had just turned 18 when the draft happened. So we'll see. Obviously, insanely young, very raw, and we'll see how that goes. With that, we're going to take a quick break and then come back for some fun fan interaction conversation. And we are back here on Brave the Wild, final segment, fan interaction segment. Put the poll out. Let's get to it right away here, and I think there'll be some other conversations and such. Want to keep up with everything and do it correctly. Which forward would be a great Christmas present for the Minnesota Wild? Feel free to comment. Tage Thompson, Ryan Oreilly, Sidney Crosby, and Alex Tuck. And interestingly enough, they are in that exact order at the moment. There'll be 5 days left. I may revisit this poll. I may revisit this poll in the next episode, depending on what may take place since then. Vote numbers have been okay, a little better than last time around. Just got to keep doing this, and unfortunately, Derek didn't. I don't know if Derek got around to things, and he's probably busy. I mean, this is like Christmas Eve and Christmas. I dropped the ball here by not putting this poll out maybe on like Monday or Tuesday, so it's my own fault. I should have put it out Monday or Tuesday. Would have probably got a better response. So I just was like, I kept forgetting. And Monday and Tuesday were annoying, busy days, because, they were. They just were. I was slow. Want to thank M.N. Johan, Jay Bushy, and Kalisha Turnipseed, of course, of Kalisha Townsville, of the Creases This podcast for retweeting. I really appreciate that, or reposting is how you might say it. Really appreciate it. So now I've got to... Can I just go to the stupid poll here? Thank you. Tage Thompson, 58.5. Ryan Oreilly, second place, 19.5. This is as of right now. Sidney Crosby coming up third. It took a while for him to even get a vote, but he's moving up to third place, 12.2. And Alex Tuck, for some reason, down to only about 10%. So, not sure what happened there to him, but it is what it is. Can look up the different players for fun, too, to kind of get into the conversation. I'm going to go to Tage Thompson for now. Come on. Yep. Yeah, he was a former St. Louis Blue. He was involved in that Ryan Oreilly trade. 32 points in 36 games so far this year. He had a career high of 94 points for the Sabres at 22-23. He's been a little bit down since then, but still would be a wonderful addition to the Wild. He's 28 already. Wow. Phoenix, Arizona native, of course, again. Years ago, that would have been unheard of. Phoenix, Arizona. What the heck? Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona. That's believable nowadays. At Brave the Wild, of course, is the Twitter account, or whatever they call it. Collegiate Turnipseed says, again, of the Creases This podcast, here's somebody not mentioned, other, which is deeply appreciated. Tyson Forrester from Philadelphia, 23 years of age, is younger than everyone else on the list. If the Minnesota Wild want to shed cap space for the trade deadline, then they should do it. Forrester is injury prone, though, so there's a risk, but good goal-scoring upside. He has 10 goals right now. Let's look at Tyson Forrester for fun here. Let's do it. Oh, my God, this is so frustrating when it keeps freezing on me. Look at that. It's like you type and it's like not even there. Oh, my God. Let's look at... Come on. Hopefully I spelled it correctly. I apologize. It's kind of on the fly here. Tyson Forrester, born in 2002. Major League Hockey. Ooh, Major Leagues. He was a 23 overall pick in 2020, like Marco Rossi and all them. 10 goals, 3 assists so far, 43 points last year in 81 games, 25 goals though. Yep, definitely a goal scorer. Kind of Zucker, like you could say, in the goal scoring category, where he scores more goals than assists throughout his NHL career. At previous levels, there was definitely more assists. 20 goals, 13 assists in 23-24 in 77 games. That's 33 points. 25 goals, 18 assists in 81 games in 24-25, and so far this year, 10 goals, 3 assists. But yeah, he's been playing well with the Philadelphia Flyers. Probably wouldn't cost too much. He would cost something. because he's definitely a prospect level type of guy still. It would definitely cost something. Wouldn't be free, but I think would cost less than these other guys. So yeah, I appreciate that thought. Not bad. Not bad at all, Kalisha. I appreciate that one. And then Johan says, of these, I'd love Thompson, but Ryan Oreilly might be more realistic. Yeah, probably. I know many Wild fans have some sort of attachment to Tuck, but I'd stay the hell away from him. Is it because of injuries, I'm guessing? Probably, because he's definitely missed time, and, that's annoying. He's definitely missed time. And, yes, I like Tuck. I'd love to have him. He does get hurt way too much, so I can understand some frustrations there. And he's 29 already. Big guy, Syracuse, New York. Yep. Career high of 79 points for the Sabres. Great season, 74 games there. Last year, somehow he played all 82 games, but and this year, 35 games, 30 points, 11 goals, 19 assists. Wonderful numbers. But, yeah, he's missed time over the course of his career. He has. Now, of course, a couple of those years were that COVID crap. But, that first year with the Sabres, he was actually out when he was traded, if I remember correctly. That's why he had a lot of time out. So, I can understand that thought. I believe it is injury-related as to why Johan would stay the hell away from Tuck. Morty, North Star fan, I love hearing from him. He says, obviously it's Tage, but I wouldn't mind Tuck. The bad part is he wants a long contract at big dollars. Yep. Oh, there's Derek. Derek did come around. Okay. But I can understand if he's super busy, too, because he probably is. And I understand that all of you could be super busy. Somehow, some way, I'm just a podcastaholic, I guess. Like, here I am, no matter what. Derek Grelska, at Crease and Assist, says, I would love to see Tage just to give the Wild a scorer with size who is more or less in his prime. Yep. But it would cost a fortune to get him here. Probably more than we can afford, yeah, because we give him way too much. Unless you don't want a first-round selection for the next 4 years. Yeah, that's a... Yeah. And I'll come back to the replies as well. Okay, let's just read the replies now. And then I could catch up with the other people. Otherwise, I'm going to miss things. And then Johan replied with... Come on. I'd give our next two firsts, 27, 28, a second, and 26... Strummel, Bennick, and Lambos. That would be for Tage, according to MN Johan. Derek says, that's so many firsts, I just can't. I kind of agree with that. That is a lot. Hockey Joe says, if you can get a player of that caliber, who cares if the Wild reach their potential? Those first-rounders are 27 to 32. Yeah, like late picks, yep. About one-third of players picked actually make an impact. Derek says, if this was a move in isolation, but we have already given away a ton of draft capital. Yep. Johan was like to Derek about the too many firsts. He says, I know, but this might not even get it done. He's like, I don't know. He's like covering his mouth. Yep. And Morty said, no, about the draft picks. Well, we'll see. So Derek says, I'm well aware of the team's draft history. It's not super impressive. Joe responds with, they're not alone. They've put themselves in a unique situation where they have 3 stars on the team without tanking and taking a top 3 pick. If you'd redrafted Boldy, he would go number 2 in his year. Hughes number 1, and Cruel Kaprizov number 3. The time is now. Derek says, if this was a move in isolation. Okay, yeah. Yep, that was like a... Man, interesting back and forth there with Joe and Derek. Respectful, though, from what I can tell. But, yep, I'm going to follow Joe. Hopefully he follows back. That would be wonderful. Okay, yep. Oh. Okay. Yep, this is funny. Joe says, yep, Derek is like, we'll find out soon, methinks. Joe responds, Hockey Joe 123 says, I heard they're thinking about a first and a prospect for Gustav Nyquist. And Derek says, seriously? Are you kidding me? Marty said, can't be. And Joe says, I was kidding. Little joke on Christmas. Yeah. Gustav Nyquist. No, of course not. I would hope they're not thinking along those lines. Man, I just hit something weird. Yeah, I figured he was kidding about Gustav Nyquist. Even the second-round pick was dumb. That fifth-round pick, and then he had to, he was still recovering from shoulder injuries, and he came back and was maybe the best player. That was awesome. Eamon Johan. What player could be in Billy G stocking? That's a cool-looking stocking, Eamon Johan. I like that a lot. Take Minnesota Wild color. Yeah, it's a Minnesota Wild stocking. Looks awesome. great job to whoever crafted that one. Derek says only Jared Spurgeon could fit in that stocking. And then Johan, probably Zook too. That's good. I like that. Little yucks there, yeah, because that's a cute little stocking. Kalisha Turnip Seed, also known as Kalisha Townsville, says first option Tage, second option Sid, third option Tuck, fourth option Ryan O'Rourke. Ryan Oreilly, not Ryan O'Rourke. Oh my God, am I an idiot? Sorry. Ryan Oreilly. If I said O'Rourke, shame on me. Well, and I did. Well, I preferred the first three. Ryan Oreilly may be the X factor to beat Colorado. Ryan Oreilly and Tarasenko reuniting might be the key to give the Wild a deep run with 3 scoring lines. Part 2 below. So she has a little extra to say here. Do this deal. Move Ryan Hartman, Riley Heidt, or Hunter Haight in a second round pick for Ryan Oreilly plus a third. I take Ryan Oreilly, the discipline and leadership, over Hartman's inconsistent play and bad discipline. Can't disagree with that for a second. Continuing, Ryan Oreilly can center Tarasenko and Trenin, Jules Eriksson X centers Boldy and JoJo, then Zuk, Zurov, and Kirill Kaprizov at the top. That is nice. I like that, Kalisha. I like that a lot. I like it. I do. Oh, yes. I like that a lot. That is awesome. Stephen Miller, who's also been a part of the Crease Assist, doing a great job. He says, who would you give up to land both of them? Boldy? Johan says, now that's ridiculous. None of these are worth him. If they don't want picks and prospects, it will not be done. I feel you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be... I think Ryan O'Reilly's a realistic one, too. And, that would be kind of, obviously a 1,000,000% win now move. Older guy that gets it done, and he would be, he could be he'd be like an elite third liner if it came to that, centering Tarasenko and Trenin. That could be good. It could be good indeed. And you move on from Hartman's poor, what do they call that, discipline. So, yeah, great thoughts. Kalisha, that was good. That was awesome. So I think that might be it for Fan Interaction. Nice conversation to all of you. That was really cool. Just making sure I didn't miss anything, and I did not. So, wonderful Fan Interaction. Wonderful. That was fun. Got to do that again and again and again and again. That's a great way to get Fan Interaction going rather than just, hey, thoughts on the Wild? That might not really generate too much. Though the Derek Lightning rounds are absolutely welcome. Any show ever, along with Tom Hayen. Either one of you do your Lightning rounds because you're famous for those. You do an amazing job, and I love it. So those are always welcome anytime, anywhere. Anytime, anywhere. So, but Kalisha, that was great. Way to bring the good conversation. That was pretty cool. Huge shout out to M&W Young Guns, Minnesota Wild Global, and of course the Crease Assist podcast, where Kalisha is co-host with Derek Pelska over there. So, thank you all so very much for this conversation. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays as well. God bless all of you. God bless everyone. We will talk next week. Hopefully the Wild can overcome some of the frustrations that have been picking up of late.
College football never stops. When college football news breaks, it breaks on On3. From the transfer portal to the playoff race to coaching changes, the sport is moving every single day. That's why college football fans turn to On3, a trusted authority with real reporters and real communities built around the teams you care about. Find all of your favorite teams and join the community. Get the full picture at on3.com. That's ON and the number 3.com.
If you're the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, you know having a trusted partner makes all the difference. That's why, hands down, you count on Grainger for auto reordering. With on-time restocks, your team will have the cut-resistant gloves they need at the start of their shift. And you can end your day knowing they've got safety well in hand. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Happy holidays! Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy Holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.